Now, there is no doubt about it that at this point, Meghan Markle is very desperate to stay in the limelight, to stay in the spotlight within Hollywood, within the film industry, especially after many studios out there blacklisted her or banned her or want nothing to do with her at all. We know that we already talked about this many months ago about how she was supposed to have a show with HBO for HBO Max that focused on fitness. That never happened, and eventually they called it quits with her. And among other studios out there that really just bailed on Meghan Markle because of how much drama took place, both internally and in the public eye for Netflix. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Meghan Markle right now is that we know that she is very well aware that Netflix is more than likely to abandon her by this fall by not renewing her contract and expiring it outright. You know, I think that's something that we all saw coming, that everyone is actually preparing for and really wants to see happen, because the more Meghan Markle stays associated with Netflix, the more customers are going to be lost for that streaming platform. There's no doubt about that. But looking at everything in isolation here, we know that Meghan Markle is basically studio hunting right now, and there is one specific development that I think is the worst act of all time when it comes down to Meghan Markle trying to remain in the spotlight/limelight, to the point that it just comes across as very pathetic and desperate and very phony. Let's get into this, shall we? Now, what's interesting about this too is that we already know that Netflix is really trying to stay afloat after the whole Meghan Markle fiasco. But when you're looking at Meghan Markle herself, she too is trying to do the very same thing. Let's get into this specifically. Now, with the Meghan Markle issue getting more intense, both behind the scenes and in the public eye for Netflix, one major development now involves more to do with Meghan Markle and her recent efforts to keep herself on television and in the limelight. Now, in the midst of her Netflix contract deal likely expiring for good by this fall, a crucial update to this entire situation now involves how Meghan Markle and her entire team recently sat down with Amazon to discuss something very serious, where she is now already pitching a reality TV series that will center on her entire life. The plan by Markle right now, get this, and what she has to do with Amazon is that she pitched a reality series that will combine all the ideas that were rejected by other studios into one massive show. This is planned to range from Meghan Markle cooking, going shopping, traveling, purchasing expensive jewelry, clothing, and more, as well as diving into fashion for this new series that she is already dubbing the show as Living with Meghan. The most alarming thing out of this development is that Amazon is reportedly impressed about Meghan's reality TV series pitch and is completely negotiating with her team on how to produce and fund the series. Now, the conversations are best described to be serious, where Amazon even accepted another core element of the show that would be explored, such as Meghan Markle engaging in fitness/yoga. Now, Markle is reportedly desperate to create a reality TV show that she claimed was greatly going to differ from other reality shows that spanned decades. To make the whole situation worse is that Meghan also wants to drag gender politics, DEI, and other agendas into her series that will be explored, and Amazon is all for it. Right now, already Amazon is negotiating on how many funds would be needed to create such a show. Now, this is where it gets interesting, is that Meghan also wants to make this not just a story about herself, but also a story about the criticism toward her and how she deals with the criticism on social media within her reality series. Now, guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about that. It's one thing to act very desperate to go over to Amazon to pitch a reality series. It's another thing to drag gender politics, DEI, and online criticism into your very own show, and how you deal with it and how you actually behave. This just goes to show you exactly how narcissistic she truly is, to the point that she has to incorporate that into her own show. And I think it really just tells everybody all that they need to know about how far Meghan Markle is willing to go to create a show like this. Now, again, Amazon believes that this would create engaging drama and interesting talking points that would lead to a successful series. Netflix is said to be fully aware about Meghan Markle's pitch with Amazon, which is so only, of course, enhancing their decision to break away from her by this fall by not renewing her contract. Now, Amazon executives did have some issues with Markle's negotiation, get this, for her series, is that she requested a whopping $150 million budget for the show. Amazon executives believe that this was not only outlandish, but was also, of course, very pushy for her to demand such funds to be introduced for her reality TV show. Now, let me just say one thing about that. The fact that she is pushing for $150 million to serve as an investment, to serve as the budget for this series, goes to show you exactly how out of touch with reality Meghan Markle really is. It really just, I think, shows you everything wrong with Meghan Markle and what she's really trying to accomplish here. Now again, here we are, it's pretty much, near the middle of April of 2025. You have some months ahead until With Love Meghan Part 2 drops on Netflix. That's another thing that Netflix has to get through first before they expire her contract. But the fact that she is already preparing for the worst and is going to other studios like Amazon. And honestly, I'm not too shocked that Amazon would be interested in Meghan Markle. I mean, they've done some pretty poor things before in the past with certain personalities out there. That's not a big shocker at all. But if they do this, I think that Amazon most certainly is going to lose some customers. They're going to lose some subscribers from Amazon Prime Video. There's no doubt about that. But what's interesting about this further is the fact that they are negotiating with Meghan Markle. The fact that they believe that her talking points about social media criticism, I should say, toward her, is going to be one thing that serves as great drama or talking points in a reality TV show. And that just goes to show you exactly how, I would say, creatively bankrupt Amazon truly is in certain areas. Hence why they actually canceled the Tomb Raider series. We all know that didn't work out for multiple reasons, but I digress. Amazon and Meghan are preparing to make a deal sometime by this summer if all negotiations are met, and it is said to only be at the beginning of Meghan's efforts to remain on television, as she is also going to other studios after getting rejected by others to create other programs. Now, Meghan is already blacklisted by more than 7 studios in Hollywood and counting, and is actually acting very desperate to stay afloat. Again, I mean, this comes well after studios like HBO denied her. In fact, they blacklisted her. They want nothing to do with her ever again after those very drama-driven negotiations took place, as we discussed, just 2 months ago. That was a big, big problem that HBO had with her. The fact that she was very overly demanding about the budget of a show, and specifically for that show with HBO, motivated by Meghan. They wanted to actually have a show centered on fitness. Didn't work out for them in the long run, and other studios also got rid of her as well. We know that she was supposed to be in a horror flick via Blumhouse Productions. That didn't work out as well. Again, I think if Amazon does this and they associate with Meghan Markle, it's going to make themselves look bad. It's not going to be a great image for themselves, and I think it would be best for the Amazon executives to say, you know what, we'll learn a thing or two from Netflix and call it quits as well. Overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.